Sorry I'm late, John. I was just going out, just going for a walk with my friends, and then out of nowhere, these guys started following me with shotguns. It was weird.
Very, very weird. Anyway,
Oh wait a minute.
It's been a while.
very much so.
Haven't done. Haven't. It's been maybe about 2 weeks since our last show.
Around there.
Yeah, but we are back. At least two of us are.
Because everyone else are losers. Everyone else lost the long walk. That's what happened.
Exactly. But anyway, hello and welcome to our live stream review of the newest Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk. You know who we all are, you know the routine, and freeform!
I'm
There's only two of us.
I'm eating pizza and soda, so.
I mean, I just had Jersey Mike's.
Nice.
But I guess we'll talk about like our expectations. So I might have brought this up before, but I've been a Stephen King fan since I was maybe 11 or 12 years old. That's how long I've been reading his books. And I've shared like my first ever horror movie was a Stephen King adaptation. That was the 1990 It miniseries with Tim Curry. So I read The Long Walk along with the Bachman books when I was in maybe sixth grade. And the book is fucking amazing. It's definitely one of King's best movies. His best stories. This is when he was under his Richard Bachman pseudonym.
Mm-hmm.
John, have you read the book, or at least like tried to read the book?
I know the ending, and we will be talking about that later. But I tried to read the book before the review, and I just couldn't get around to it. I'm very busy right now, but I do own it. I have two different versions of The Long Walk. My sister wanted to read it because she was interested, so I gave her my copy of The Long Walk. Meanwhile, I have the Bachman books. Right, it didn't come with a dust cover, but I do have the Bachman books, the first four, because these were all the ones that were written and published before it was known that King was Bachman. And then Thinner, he published anyway under Richard Bachman, but then explained that, yeah, I know that people know, but I just did it for this. And then the dark half is all about his, being Bachman kind of thing and being that. So this has, if anybody doesn't know, obviously, Devin knows, but this features Rage, The Long Walk, Roadwork, and then The Running Man, which will also be adapted later this year by Edgar Wright, starring Mark's favorite actor, Glenn Powell. Which we will also be reviewing, spoiler alert. But I'm going to try and read this. The only reason I got the Bachman book, this version, because I was very interested in Rage, even though Devin said the book kind of sucks. But I was very curious about it, and it's out of print, so that's why I got the original Bachman book version. So, I was curious about it, and I don't plan to shoot up a school anytime soon. So, because I'm not deranged.
I don't think Rage sucks. I just think it's funny.
So, yeah. So I will get around to reading The Long Walk eventually. I tried to do the same thing for when Salem's Lot came out. That didn't work. I tried to do the same thing for The Doctor's Sleep and trying to read The Shining. That didn't work. So the only book I have read from cover to cover of Stephen King is Carrie, which is a great book. I'm just not a very good reader nowadays. I think I might have to go full in on audiobooks at this point because I just don't have the time to sit down and read a book. But yeah, I do have it. I do want to read it. I hope to read it soon. But I do already know the ending, and I know some things that even before watching the movie, I do know a couple things that happened in the book. So yeah.
So with that being said, an adaptation for this was in development for a long time. Even George Romero.
Years.
Yeah, George Romero was at one point attached to it.
Frank Darabont too.
And Frank Darabont. But when they finally announced it, this movie was announced, it was directed by the dude that did the Hunger Games. Okay, I can see that. And then I found out it was written by the guy that did the dude that did Strange Darling, which was one of my favorite movies of last year. Like, all right, I'm in. And then I saw the trailer, and I said, "Yep, all right, let's do this. I'm ready. Let's fucking go." One of my most anticipated of the year. And after and after seeing it, one of the greatest King adaptations ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I think I'm gonna get this out of the way because typically we do our like expectation positives, mixed negatives. I don't really have any negatives with this movie.
Neither do I.
So let's just go all in.
Yeah. I do like. I always like to start with the acting for me personally, and it's very funny. Well, not really funny, but like ironic that Francis Lawrence, obviously, the guy who did the Hunger Games, it's a big joke because this is like kind of a similar thing. It's a dystopian thing where kids die, blah blah blah. I get it. But it is interesting because Francis Lawrence directed Philip Seymour Hoffman in two of the Hunger Games or two or three of the Hunger Games movies, and then his son, boom, right there, Cooper Hoffman plays Ray Garrity in this movie, so he has played with two different generations of Hoffman. So I found that to be interesting. And Cooper Hoffman is on the rise to become one of the, a great actor in his own right. It's not just like another like nepo baby thing. It's like Jack Quaid or John David Washington, where it's like, yeah, they are the sons of very good actors or great actors, but they are also great in their own right for different reasons.
Exactly.
But they are all they are still great. And I think Cooper Hoffman and I think David Johnson is his name,
Yes.
who plays Peter McVries in this. Their chemistry was like
perfect.
it's apps. If there could be a word better than perfect, that's what it would be. Like you would think that these guys didn't just meet like in and out of universe. Like in universe, obviously they just met for The Long Walk, or out of universe where they just met for this movie. It feels like they've known each other for like decades with how they talk to each other and how there's a rapport between them and how they are just so what they work off of each other so well. And not just them, they have good chemistry with everybody. Like everybody in the movie had good chemistry with one another.
I loved all of the acting in this movie, especially from Hoffman and Johnson. Like those two, like superb chemistry with each other. Their characters are so likable. I cared about the characters we do get to know, like on this long walk. I cared about them.
Yeah. Bent Long as Hank Olsen. Great. Christopher Plummer as the bully. I forget it. I forget his name.
Barkovich,
that was it, because I knew it was a weird name.
He nails the asshole he was in the book.
But what I like about it, it's not the typical, Stephen King one-dimensional bully trope. There's more to
Henry
him.
Bowers.
Yeah, there's depth to him. There's like intrigue with him, and then same with Stebbins. Yes. So he was also he kind of had some bully characteristics, but again, there was more there's more to these guys than you see or even hear about. I liked the Native American guy too. I forget. Again, I don't remember these guys' names because they weren't as, prominent as Hoffman and Johnson, but Native American guy was really good. Arthur was excellent as well because he was like one of the four musketeers. So he was really, really good as well. And then all the smaller characters that you kind of know, the Stephen King self-insert guy. I don't know his name, but he was clearly a Stephen King self-insert character.
That dude was fucking ballsy. His fucking ankle was snapped and he still kept going.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to die, but like after a while, he had no choice because like he was going to be slow. His foot fucking rotted off, and that's we're gonna get into that soon enough. But you could clearly tell. I don't know if that was how he was in the book, but the vibe I got, like, he has the big glasses. He wants to write a book about the long walk. I'm like, this feels like a Stephen King insert character. Um,
Parker's the Native American.
Parker's the American. He was excellent. So I liked that kid. And I liked all of the other they left impressionable things, even if they didn't have lines, even if they didn't do much. Like you remember like all the like Jojo Rabbit, he was the first one to go. Spoiler alert,
Yeah,
you can't
Curly.
see that in the trailer anyway. So um, but he was good. The kid who tried to run, I mean, a couple of them did, but I think the first one that tried to run, he was good. Like you get not good, but like they were impressionable, they were memorable, even if they didn't have like a big role. Like you felt a lot of the things, and that's what was so good about this movie is that it didn't that was the major thing I was worried about. But even Stephen King said, like, if you do an adaptation of this, you have to be brutal. You can't pull punches. And they
Exactly.
definitely fucking didn't pull punches.
Oh,
Um,
kids are getting shot left and right. This kid's legs get run over by a tank.
yeah, this movie is genuinely brutal. Like, I was eating while watching this, and I wanted to fucking throw up. Like, I
Oh,
was like, I was like feeling queasy. And considering the fact how we have talked about on the show, and evident right there, and you can't see it, but I have a thing poster up there, and then you can also kind of see my horror movie poster right there. Um, I'm a big horror guy. It takes a lot to fuck with me, and this movie fucked with me. This is
oh,
a fucked up, like, you have to be mentally prepared to watch this movie. You have to probably not eat anything if have a very, sensitive stomach, and you just got to be prepared for the brutality that this movie entails because
because
it's fucked the fuck up.
look, Alex, because I saw it with Alex. He read the book too. He's a big Stephen King fan like me, and so there were points where him and I just looked at each other. We were like this, like we were
Yeah.
not ready.
Yeah, and as both of you said, considering you both read the book, that is saying a lot.
We thought we were
So,
prepared, but we were not.
yeah, and I did a review of this at my job, and I even warned them, like, if you do not have the stomach for this, don't watch it. Like, straight up, like, if you don't watch it. And it's a brutal, it's an unrelenting and disturbing movie how this goes about. And I like how it doesn't try to do more. It doesn't try to do like a lot of action. Like, it doesn't Hollywoodize itself. It really doesn't. And
It's a very grimy look.
very grimy. And I know I have mentioned this on the show many a times. Like, and I still believe it, but I'm like, guys, stop, making your movies brown and ugly. However, the brown and ugliness can work. And it's for movies like this. It's supposed to be grimy and gross and ugly and not pleasant to look at because this is not supposed to be a pleasant movie. Like, how is it that, like, The Long Walk, a movie about fucking kids getting murdered, and Wicked, a movie about the fantastical world of Oz, look the fucking same? That shouldn't be a thing. Yet here we are. So, it's just I don't get that, but here, like, I give it a okay because it's supposed to be a gross, ugly movie. That was the
It's a
intention, and that's
dystopian America that's
yeah,
very bleak.
exactly.
Like this is a world that's so bleak and hopeless and deadly.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about the acting, there was someone we forgot to mention.
Oh, Mark
Mark
Hamill,
fucking Hamill as the major. Look,
who
I'm a
also
big
appeared in, Life of Chuck
Life of
earlier
Chuck.
this year.
You know, I love Mark Hamill, even if the movie sucks. Like that dude is fucking great in everything he's in. Like the machine was fucking terrible. He was great. Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Those movies sucked. He was great.
Yeah. No matter what, and
fucking nailed. He fucking nailed the Major.
And what I liked about it, and you can tell about this, is like even when he's not on screen, you can feel his presence. That's the sign of a good performance and a good villain performance. I guess, when it comes to Star Wars, like father, like son. Anyway, they both kill younglings. Hello.
Yeah, he was a guy. Like he's a guy where like you hate this fucking dude. He's evil. He's a scumbag. Yet you can't stop. But every time he's on screen, I'm smiling.
Yeah, and it's also a sign of you can't do anything. Like obviously that's like the case because you have no choice but to walk, and if you try to do anything else, you're killed. But I think the fact that you can't get to him is also really annoying. Kind of like a troll. How like no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can't do any like how like towards the end of the movie where Ray is just done and he's like, go fuck yourself. I fucking hate you. I hope you fucking burn in hell. And by the way, and he's like, that's the spirit. Like you can't do anything to him, and that's like fucking mad annoying. But even then, by the way, if you hate swearing, you will hate this movie because I think this is the most F-bombs I have heard in a movie since like Scarface, by the way. So
I don't know. I mean, I've seen Rob Zombie movies.
Fair. Also, the South Park movie apparently had the most amount of F-bombs for a while.
Speaking of which, I'm trying to remember the point I was going to make. I completely forgot.
Yeah, sorry. We're just going on tangents, so
very much.
Sorry about that. But Mark Hamill, just like despicable. You hate him, but you love to hate him. And
I would totally say this like one of the best villain performances of the year. Like I would put this right up there with Gladys from Weapons.
Yeah. I would say Gladys scared me more. I think she was scarier, but I would say, like in a perfect world, this would be nominated for Oscars, but we don't live in that world. So, it's.
But I'd say I think what makes the Major so scary is like you could see someone like this in real life. Yeah. I promise that comment was not intentional. Yeah, my word.
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a fucking word. Anyway. What else? I liked the simplistic nature of it because
it's just guys walking.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And I don't know where I found this quote. I think it was on an old YouTube video and I think it nails Stephen King perfectly. When it comes to Stephen King, when he's bad, he's good, but when he's great, he's fucking fantastic. The man made walking scary. Here's the thing. Sometimes that doesn't always work because I feel like Stephen King has taken a lot of things and made them extremely scary. Walking, but it comes down to execution because The Long Walk. Walking, not scary. Stephen King made it scary. A laundry machine, Stephen King tried to make that scary, and it did not work. So, I'm just saying sometimes the execution works, sometimes it doesn't.
The guy made a supermarket in a post-apocalyptic world be chilling. Like the Langoliers is goofy as fuck, but at the same time, the quiet airport is chilling.
Yeah. I remember they even said they got rid of the white noise to make it like scarier. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, he can make the airport setting scary, but like burnt meatballs with mouths isn't exactly scary. I will say that. Also, the man tried to make the term shit weasel scary, and that did not work either.
The shit weasels.
Anyway, it's just I don't know. Stephen King gets a lot of flack for good reason. This is the man that put a child orgy at the end of It, so he deserves the hate for that, and he deserves the hate for a lot of things. But
he directed Maximum Overdrive when he was coked up.
Yep, I'm gonna scare the hell out
Scare
of you.
the
No,
hell
you
out of
didn't.
you.
You just bored us, Steven. Fuck it. And I have heard he's kind of an asshole, like in real life, like to fans and people. So like, that's not great. But like when he's really that good, it's like great. Like, another one is like Loss of Identity. He did that really good in The Outsider.
I haven't read
I
that
don't
one
know
yet.
There was a mini series with Jason Bateman, really fucking good. And all the Cynthia Erivo is also in it. That's before she became like ultra famous with Wicked, but she was in it. She was really good. And a couple other people. But yeah, that was also and just like making those like normal things scary, like like Steven Spielberg made water scary, with the help of a shark, but it still worked. Alfred Hitchcock made showers scary. It's just like making everyday objects scary. Like I know people go back to the Family Guy skit where he's like, "Ooh, a lamp! Ooh, ooh!" Like I know, I get, but like honestly, if Stephen King is at his best, he could probably make that lamp scary. I'm just saying.
It's a Megan Easter egg.
I get it. Like I know he's like very easy to make jokes about, but when he's this good, when it's just this grounded level of just just it's just people. It's just people like in this world. It just works. And I think the writing, I think the direction, I think the actors all elevated, even though it's just like there's not really a lot to talk about because there's no like big action sequences. Like I would say it's paced very well. It's under 2 hours and it feels like it's running time, but like in a good way. It doesn't feel over, it doesn't feel too brisk. It hits the sweet spot. It's nothing comparatively, just an aside, I watched Spinal Tap 2 after this, which thank God I needed a fucking comedy after watching this goddamn thing. So, and that movie was like less than 90 minutes, yet it felt like 2 hours. So, like, it just goes to show how things are edited, how things are paced. And this was very well paced. Like, it's just people walking, but it never felt boring. So I liked that a lot as well. It was well edited. The music was great. I don't know who did the music, but whoever they were did a great job. There wasn't like a lot of music. It was a lot of like droning and just like kind of regular and the sound effects. Punch, good punch. Like when you hear and feel those I would say if there's anything that this gets nominated for, I would probably guess it's sound editing. Well, I forgot sound editing and mixing is not a thing. Now it's just sound. So like I could see, sound.
Interesting.
But yeah.
So the composer is the co-founder and songwriter for the band the Lumineers.
Huh.
The
Born and raised
I
in
belong
Jersey.
with you. I belong with you. You belong with me in my sweet. Oh. Wait, that song?
Ah.
The song that was played over and over again in like 2014.
Yes.
So yeah, he did the music for this movie.
Stick with composing. It's kind of like Trent Reznor, like where like great musicians becoming composers.
I'm gonna say you better not diss Nine Inch Nails, boy.
No, I mean that's gonna be the best part of the goddamn Tron movie that's coming out. The only good
I
part.
I don't know, man. I love Nine Inch Nails, but I don't know about that one. I'll just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it It's gonna be better than the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but I do want to mention this because you have not read the book, but I have,
mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah,
will
feel free to
say,
do any comparisons and shit.
in terms of changes they made from the book, I thought they were pretty good changes because it sticks very very close to the book. Like it nails a lot of scenes, a lot of the elements. It nails the tone, but there are some noticeable differences. Like for one, in the book, it's not 50 boys, like for one from each state. It's 100. And
I
I
get
think,
why they changed that so they don't have to rely on too many extras.
yeah, yeah, it makes it feel a little bit more contained.
Personal, even maybe.
hmm So that's a change. That's a change I welcomed a lot. Um, I Mc, Pete in the book had moments where he was a fucking dick. But here they made him like the nice guy. Even though to be fair, I'd say Garrity was also the nice guy. Honestly, I'd say the four Musketeers, maybe aside from Hank, were nice guys.
I wouldn't say he was a bad guy. He was just a little bit of a sleazeball. But
Yeah, exactly. And Hank being the one that is married is interesting because Hank was not the married one in the book. That's a different character they completely cut out of the movie.
so they combined characters essentially.
So there was the character Scram or Scrum. He was one of the favorites to win the contest. He had a wife who was pregnant, and he believed that being on this walk would be a good motivation for him. But then he develops pneumonia, and that's how he dies. Like he doesn't get killed by the soldiers; he allows himself to die. And they cut him out of the movie, and they use some of those elements in Hank's character and also Stebbins. So Hank is the one that has the wife.
And I assume Stebbins. They use the major father thing for Stebbins instead of that character. I assume.
Oh, Stebbins was still the son of the major,
Okay.
but they made him the one that gets sick instead of Scram.
Mm.
Olsen's death was also a lot more fucked.
Yeah, I could believe that.
So obviously, like here, like he's left to bleed out on the street in the movie. In the book, he gets shot, but he ignores his wound and he tries to keep going, and they just keep fucking shooting him.
Mm.
Like his fucking intestines are hanging out of his fucking body, and he's still going.
Yeah. I think that could have been a good thing, but that probably would have caused people to fucking puke. So yeah, I think it had some good. It sounds like it had like beneficial changes. Um, but yeah, I still obviously I'm still gonna read it. I'm gonna try to. But yeah, it definitely did a lot of really, really good things that I liked, and just like everything about it was just brilliant.
Another difference I remembered, and don't worry, we'll get to the big difference like soon. Right. Charity's motivation, because in the book, Garrity's dad is still killed by the Major. So the movie, I liked how the movie made it like very personal. Like Garrity's wish is to get a gun so he can fucking kill this guy. Oh wait, no wait. Garrity wasn't. His dad wasn't killed by the Major. He was taken away by the squads in the
Okay.
book. And I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't even remember if he even had a wish.
Okay.
He does have a girl. He didn't break up with his girlfriend in the book. He still had his girlfriend. So it's interesting they cut the girlfriend out completely.
Okay.
Because
Probably just useless things that didn't really need to be added at all.
because here when they get to Freeport, he sees his mom. In the book, he sees his girlfriend.
Mm.
And I guess that makes it even more emotional.
I think it was better that his mom was there. I like how they cut the girlfriend, because I'm not saying like, oh, a girlfriend isn't powerful or anything like that, but he is young. It's kind of like young love. Like your
But at the
mom
same
is
time,
like,
it's your mother.
it's your fucking mother. Like that's rough. That's fucking huge. Girlfriend, it's emotional, but I feel like the mother would it had a more like, and I love how like in here when like this scene that is in the background, of course, that was chosen. This was the scene where he sees his mom, and I like how they don't have him say "I love you." He just apologizes. Like it's sort of like obviously it's like I'm sorry because I love you, but the only thing he can get out is I'm sorry. So I liked that. I liked that little tidbit. And I also liked how despite this being filmed, it never cuts away to like the homes or anything like that or the people watching, because I feel like that would have been a good out. That would have been a good like, oh, we got to break up the action, blah blah blah, when no, it's just these guys walking. And sure, you get that flashback with his dad, but like that was more like that was one thing. But the rest of the time is just them walking. So I really like that as well, and I feel like a really good theme here in this overall movie is like the power of like male friendship. And I like how these guys are just like, and that could be a good metaphor. Like here, like you're like on the walk of life, all you have is like the people around you and the people who love you. And it's just like when it comes to men, like I don't mean to like demean women or anything like that, but it sometimes feels like the relationships men have with each other, it's just like you don't have to do a lot, you don't have to say a lot, but there's this like strange like unbroken bond between one another that is so inherently powerful. Like war is something that this showcases a lot, like war movies where it's just like brothers in arms and that kind of thing. And I feel like this is like, well, I mean, this is kind of like a war movie in a little bit. It's like a war between these boys and like the higher powers of the government that are forcing them to do this in a weird kind of way. And they're shooting, of course. So there's that. But it just like I love the how it portrays, like, even though these guys fucking like get at each other's throats, they want to fucking kill each other, they get mad at each other in there, and they're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. Okay, well, do you want to walk with me? I'm gonna walk with you. And that's like
It's beautiful.
it's a very powerful thing. And by the end, like right before the ending, when like Peter and Gray are like talking to like a real philosophical conversation about their friendship before like the ending, I started to cry because I thought about my own friends. I thought about the people I know, like with me. I thought about you guys. I thought about friendships that have died, and it just like it was a very very powerful moment, and that really got me. I started to cry in the theater because it was just it showcased perfectly, even without saying every solitary thing. It got it. It understood it. It got like that powerful bond between men, and I really appreciated that. And I think that was probably one of the best parts of the movie, for not just that scene, just like that core, that theme, that idea of like just how powerful that can be with each other. Very well done. And I just wanted to point that out as well. I thought that was a good theme that they
Oh,
included there.
you're right on the money. Oh, that's another difference in the book. Garrity, like along the way, he begins to have a lot of like repressed, like this homosexual feelings.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So
And
I'm glad they didn't go in that direction, because that would have been the very easy direction to go in.
it reminds me of the angle they went with Richie
Yeah,
in the It movies, and I'm sorry, I still stand by. I still don't like that.
I don't like that either, because that's unfortunately a thing that a lot of people talk about. Because, and again, we're not saying if you're gay, that's okay. You are still loved, no matter what. However, it's just I feel like that's just such an easy thing, because I feel like, again, I don't want to demean women. I'm not trying to demean them at all. It's just I feel like a lot of women who don't understand like the powerful bond that men can have. It's like, "Oh, it's gay. It's gay." And
Agenda!
not that like people view Lord of the Rings, oh, it's gay. I'm like, really? This dude was a hardcore Christian. Do you really think he would have homosexual themes in his goddamn fantasy books? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. All
Fuck
right.
no.
It's just like it's an easy like oh, the war movies. That's another thing. How it's like, oh, the brothers in arms are like, oh, that's gay. It's like, no, it's not. It's just you don't. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to you. Women's friendships with other women is a different context. It's a different bond, and it's not the same. And that's not anything bad. It's just different. But like what what men have done like with each other, and like how that bond is it's not easy to say, oh, it's gay. Like it's not that. Sometimes, like once in a blue moon, yeah, of course it is. But like when it's that powerful, sometimes most of the time, a lot of the time, it is just a very powerful friendship. And I just think that a lot of people in this day and age, now that we've become a lot more progressive, a lot more accepting, which is good, but then people look back on older media when that was not the intention most of the time, and they say, oh, it's gay, when it's not the case. So I just think I'm glad they cut that out, because sometimes you just can have a very powerful bond and not have it revert to sexual ideas.
Exactly.
So, because that's not the case a lot of the time. So I feel like, to be fair, Stephen King this was like the first thing he ever wrote. So I understand, like, maybe like he wasn't sure how to like write that properly.
I think
So
he wasn't. I think pretty sure he was still in college when he wrote it.
I remember seeing something, he was like 17 or 18 when he wrote this.
He was 18.
So this was like so obviously this was the first thing he ever wrote, but obviously not the first thing he ever published. That was Carrie. And then he wouldn't, since this was so brutal, he didn't do it much until publish it until much later under Bachman. So, I like how they got rid of that, because I feel like, again, it's a very easy thing to do. And I feel like with King, as a very inexperienced writer, it was an easy way to go. And I'm glad they didn't go through that, because JT Molnar, seems to be a very talented writer. Even though I didn't think Strange Darling was the second coming of Christ like everyone else did, I think he did do it. Just like, honestly, I just think it would have been better if it was just linear instead of cutting up narrative. But whatever, that's just beside the point. I think he's a good writer, and I think that he really wrote that very well. Because again, as I say, it's easy. And the fact he didn't go that, but executed the idea, but to not have that be an underlying thing, that shows talent. And I'm, and I still think Strange Darling was a pretty good movie. I just don't think it was the greatest thing ever. That's all. It's good. It's like a solid 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Just I don't think it's the greatest thing ever.
He is supposed to be writing another King movie, and this is one of like King's like lesser books. He's supposed to adapt. He's supposed to write a script for The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
I did hear about that. Yes.
I mean, the book was. I mean, that book was.
Maybe he'll elevate it. You don't know.
Yeah, that's what I hope. That's what I hope. Because I mean,
nobody really thought twice about Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, and look how that fucking turned out. That's still the greatest King adaptation of all time. So,
yeah, exactly.
So he can elevate. I also heard there was some rumor that he was the one that was going to helm the A24 Texas Chainsaw movie, but I don't know if I don't think that's true though. I think that was just a rumor. But honestly, if there's anybody that could do it, I think he probably could, but I don't.
There was also
just a rumor.
I mean, there was also rumors that Osgood Perkins was one of the people considered to do it.
Yeah, but that's if the rights went to Neon, because I think it was Glenn Powell wanted them, Jordan Peele with, I think it was Universal wanted them, Oz with Neon, and then A24 with someone. I think that was like the studio's bidding on it. The rights, and I know you swore it off, which is fine, understandable, because that movie sucked.
I guess it all depends on who's attached.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the greatness of The Long Walk.
So, well, let's talk about the big difference.
Yes,
the ending. So this is a spoiler for those who have not read the book.
Yes. So if you have not read the book, please. How about Devin? How about you put a ticker down that says spoiler warning for the book, just so like people have like so if they mute it, they can just see that signal and just then come back when it's gone. So we're gonna put a ticker at the bottom. We're gonna talk about the book ending. We're gonna talk about the ending of the movie, even though it is a spoiler discussion. So just letting you guys know.
Right.
So yeah. So please, just one last warning. Please click away if you have not read the book. So. Anyway,
here is your spoiler.
Yes.
So here we go.
Yes.
Another thing they cut out of the movie was in the book, Garrity begins to see like this dark, shadowy figure.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like both the book and the movie have a very dark and bleak ending, but in a different way, but also still similar.
Yeah, the core is similar, I feel.
She sees, so throughout the book, Garrity is going fucking, like he's going fucking insane. Like he's lost, he's hopeless, and he keeps seeing this dark, shadowy figure. And McFreeze is the one who dies. Garrity is the winner. And when the major's trying to tell him, like, all right, what's your wish? He just keeps walking. He's following the figure. He thinks it's another walker, and he says, there's still a lot more time to walk. And then he finds the strength to run.
Yeah.
So I've always interpreted that dark ending like he's just so lost and hopeless. He's just going to keep aimlessly wandering, and they're either that or he knows he's about to die and he's walking to his death. The dark figure is death looming over him.
Right.
And then you have the movie, and then you have the movie's ending, which is still kind of the same concept.
In like a core spiritual kind of way. I was talking about this beforehand, but in a core kind of way. But I'll let you explain it.
So, I was not expecting Garrity to be the one to die.
Yeah, I didn't expect. As someone who didn't read the book but knew the ending, I was like, "Whoa! I didn't expect that. Holy shit!" They
pulled the switcheroo, and the major's the one that pulls the trigger, and he does the you, Garrity. I think that's what he says.
I don't think he said that. I think he said the same thing he told his father, and then he shoots him, kind of implying he knew who he was. I think that's what happened.
So Garrity dies. Pete is the winner. And of course, Pete gets the money. He wins the long walk, he gets the money, but then he gets his wish. And with the long walk, like you could wish for anything and it's granted to you. Like if you want an endless supply, you win and you want an endless supply of women. You got it. You want a pet elephant, you got it.
If you want 10 naked ladies, you got it.
You got it.
And
if you want
oh, sorry, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Or I don't know, if you want you know what, before I get to the end, before I continue the ending, what would your wish be?
An endless supply of Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
Or an endless supply of red velvet Oreos. One of the two.
oh, okay.
Or if I want to try and go with a healthier point of view, I would ask for like a personal trainer so I could like slim down. That would probably be better. But you know, I would yeah. But like if my fat ass was wanting the fat assery, I would probably say Oreos or Dr. Pepper. But I do have Oreos. They're down here. But yes. What would you wish for?
I would want my own movie theater.
Ooh, that's a
Like
good one.
My own home theater.
But I will say neither of us are fucking surviving the long walk. I'm just gonna say that. With your foot and my fatness, we're not surviving.
Oh yeah, my bad with my bad leg. Oh, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I think the people that had the best chance of winning the long walk are Rob and Mark do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Rome's in good shape. So it'll probably be between those three.
Yeah.
I don't know about Zach or Austin. Maybe
Jay
Jay's got
probably
a chance.
could. Jay looks like he's in good shape. And I know he plays a lot of basketball, so you know he exercises a lot. So I think he also has a good chance.
So it'll be between those four.
Yeah.
I think I might be one of the first ones to die.
You would be Jojo Rabbit. You would immediately get shot in the I think I could survive like a little bit. I would be maybe like the third person to die. Like I think I could. I have some stuff in me, but like I don't think I would be the first. I think I would be the second or the third one to die. Because
if I stand or walk around for long periods of time, I'm a limping mess.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the actual ending of the book. I mean of the movie, sorry.
So Pete is the one who wins. The Major congratulates him and he says, "All right, what's your wish?" And remember, Garrity's wish was, I want to get one of the soldiers' guns and I want to kill the Major.
Yeah, he says that earlier on in the movie, and Pete's like, "No, don't do that. You got to hold on to hope." Well, Pete, he lost his best friend. He don't got no fucking hope left. So he's like, so he says, "I want a carbine." Okay, you've been granted. He's like, "No, I want that
his
carbine." So it's like, oh, you know, fucking what's coming. So eventually the whole thing is he takes the gun, he's like, "Drop your arms." He aims it at the Major. He's like, "This is for Ray." And then he fucking shoots and kills the Major. And then, much like the book ending, he continues walking. And it's also I don't know if this was Pete's backstory in the book, but it's revealed earlier on in the movie that his parents died in the Great War, not like the World War I, the Great War, but the war that killed like America economically and made it a dystopia. He's like, I never knew them, I don't remember them, and he kind of just was aimless throughout his whole life. He's like, I've been running my whole life, I've been walking my whole life, so I got nothing. And he like went to foster home. He like hated his existence, and that was the whole thing. And after almost dying, he was like, I was thankful because I was the dickhead and I wanted to become better than what I was. So so it's implied that he goes back to walking. Like that was like what that meant, but it still fits into the idea of the book where it's like he probably walks to his death. Like that's like it's still like a dark ending.
Soldiers are probably gonna fucking hunt him down.
He will be the running man.
The running man.
Hey, perfect. The walking man evolves into the running man.
The running man.
But hunt him down. Anyway, sorry.
I mean, the origins for the scar are different.
Okay.
So he in the book he gets the scar from his girlfriend after he tries to rape her.
What Stephen King loves to write about. He does love his rape.
Oh, he does, and he was cut by a letter opener, and out.
Yeah.
But they didn't include the girlfriends.
I think again, as you said, Pete's more of an asshole in the book, and I feel like they try to make him more likable in the movie. I don't know, maybe because did they ever say Pete's race in the book?
Did they?
I'm asking you. I didn't read it, so they probably since they cast a black guy, they probably didn't want the stigma of the dangerous black man has to rape the woman kind of thing. So they probably cut that out and made it more emotional and tied to his backstory and who he was. And I think that works. But honestly, all of these changes are for the better.
Exactly. They don't specify. Actually, they don't specify his race in the book.
Okay, I didn't think they would. But maybe because he's played by a black guy, they didn't want to have black men are rapists type of thing. So they maybe removed that, or it was just too dark and they just wanted to make it more likable. So they
his description was just he's a fit, built guy with black hair, and he's got the scar on his cheek.
Yeah,
they don't really mention his race.
Yeah. So I was saying this to you beforehand, but I'll say it now. I think I prefer the ending of the book, even without the context of knowing the book version of the story, because it's just so beyond fucked. I respect it majorly that they did that. That King really was like, no, I'm not pulling any punches. However, and I think the ending to the movie is still very dark, especially with how you explained it. It made me appreciate it even more than I did. However, there is the smallest, tiniest bit of Hollywood satisfaction with the ending because he gets to kill the major. That is kind of a little bit of a Hollywood satisfaction thing. The guy that was there, who put them through hell. Okay, fine.
I had a feeling they were going to change it so the major would die.
Because I think that it works in terms of Hollywood set, but I still think because it's at the end of the day, as we said, he's still gonna fucking die. Either he's gonna get hunted down, he's gonna keep walking, he's gonna fucking he has no hope anymore. His best friend's dead. He's just gonna keep walking and he's gonna fucking die soon. So it's still a dark ending, but so I still appreciate it with that, but the book ending is just so beyond fucked that I just respect it more. And
fair.
But that is a very still rather dark because he doesn't change anything. He's not going to change anything. The long walk is going to happen again. It's never going to stop. It's just they're going to replace the major with another guy and you don't change anything. Kind of ironically, the first Hunger Games movie, the one Hunger Games movie that ironically Francis Lawrence did not direct. Gary Ross directed it, but that was the whole thing. If we're talking about like Hunger Games in a vacuum and we're just talking about the first one, yeah, okay, they both of them got to live. Cool, great. But at that point, they didn't change anything. They're not going to change anything until we get into the sequels, obviously. But it's just like the idea of that one book. They still, okay, the Hunger Games is going to happen again. They both get to live cool, but like it's still like they're going to still keep killing kids and shit. So, which is ironic. And I also like how there is another Hunger Games reference. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I feel like this one was intentional. I think it was Art's wish, where he's like, I would want two people to be the winners.
Pete's wish.
Was that Pete's wish? Okay,
yeah,
that was. I forget if it was Pete's or Art's wish, but he's like, I would want two people to end, and I'm like, I don't know if that was in the book or not, but if it wasn't, I think that's a wink and a nod to the Hunger Games, because as we know, the first one ended with the both of them winning.
Art wanted to go to the moon.
Yes, that's yes, okay. He wanted to get a spaceship to go to the moon to get the fuck off here. So yeah, that's what that was. And yeah, Pete was. So also, I think you get rid of the ticker because we're done talking about the ending.
I also want to bring up. It's pretty scary seeing people die just for taking a shit.
Well, I mean, he kept stopping. That was the thing. He went below this 3 mile per hour marker.
Oh, that's another change I appreciate. Because in the book, it's 4 miles per hour, and that's basically a light jog.
Yeah.
Whereas here, 3 miles per hour makes sense, and it's a walk. It's a long walk, not the long jog.
Yes. But like I feel like that's more tiring because you're exerting more energy. So I get it. Why, 4 miles per hour, ooh, that's more energy you have to exert. But here I think the 3 miles per hour I think makes sense. And it feels like, again, I don't want to shit on the book or anything, but I like the changes. Like I feel like this movie. So would you say the movie is better than the book?
Good question. I would say, both of them are equal because they're both very bleak. They're very hard hitting. They're very emotional. So I'd say they're like kind of like neck and neck.
Gotcha. But I think I think this, again, the only like nitpicks I have, like again, the smallest nitpicks that they don't even matter, they don't change my rating, is that is the ending. It's a little bit more Hollywood satisfaction, but again, it's still a good ending and it's still a bleak ending. So I appreciated that, but there is still about the twinge of like, I get it, but it still works. And then it's a little bit rushed to getting there into the ending. It feels like that they were like walking, it's philosophical, and then it's just like, oh, it's the stretch, and then Ray Garrity dies. It's like, oh, okay. But even then, I think it like I don't have any qualms with this. I really don't. I don't have any mixed things about it. I don't have any negatives about it. Everything about this movie was a brilliant yet disturbing experience I will never forget. Especially that kid shitting his brains out, because that's
I will say the most like disturbing and intense part of that entire movie was when they're
walking
on the
up the
fucking
hill.
hit. Like, oh my god. The whole time I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Because like even though I thought Ray Garrity was gonna live, but he's still the protagonist, so he has a little bit of plot armor. I thought like, are they actually gonna fucking kill him? Like that, even when I kind of knew, well, at least at the time, that I thought he was gonna win, I was like, oh shit. Are they gonna fucking kill him? So that, like, even with those moments,
gun was right at his head.
Yeah. So, and then you have Charlie Plummer, being like, you're not going to make it, fuck you, you're going to be an asshole. And what I thought it was going to be in terms of the ending, actually, we'll get into that later. I'll talk about that, but I thought he was the figure. I'll just leave it at that. I thought they were going to make Charlie Plummer's character the figure, and I'll leave it at that.
That would have been interesting.
But yeah, I think I don't think there's really much else to say, and we hit the hour mark, so that's so we got rid of a warning, guys.
But
yeah, excellent film.
yeah.
You want to get into ratings?
Yeah. So overall, my final thoughts is this absolutely lived up to the hype. It definitely exceeded my expectations. I was already expecting greatness, and I got perfection. I could totally see this being not just like on the top of my among my favorites of the year, but this is like right up there with my favorite King adaptations. Like I would gladly put this up there with Misery, with Shawshank, with Stand By Me, with Doctor Sleep, Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
Like all of those. The Long Walk totally fits. And we already had, like, us King fans have been eating good this year.
Yep.
Because we had the fun, but in my opinion, flawed The Monkey. And then we had the feel good happiness that was The Life of Chuck. And then we got this.
Yeah. And as I said in my review, if Life of Chuck represented the best parts of humanity,
this is the worst.
Represented the fucking worst. So,
like I loved everything about this movie. I loved the bleak nature, the brutality, the acting, the characters, the changes. Like I said, I didn't mind the changes. Whereas with something like It, where some of the changes like annoyed me with both adaptations, both the miniseries and the movies. I'm glad this stuck close to the source material. They did their homework. And here's to hoping Running Man is just as great as this in Life of Chuck. Totally watch this in theaters, but just be warned. Like John said, this is not for everybody. If you cannot handle the brutality that we described, this is not the movie for you.
Right.
But I adored The Long Walk. I'm definitely seeing this again, and I'm giving it a perfect 10.
So, as I said, I had high expectations for this. I was a little worried about JT Molnar because I didn't love Strange Darling as much as everyone else did, so I was worried about that. But I love the cast, I love the director, and this was still like from the moment it was announced, even though Frank Darabont could have been given us a great adaptation too. Would have been very different, but it would have been probably just as great. Francis Lawrence managed to, break out of the Hollywood dystopian to the brutal dystopian ideas, and he did that very well. And I think this, everything about it, the cast was excellent, the chemistry between characters was excellent, it was paced excellently, the editing was excellent, the dialogue was excellent, the themes and core of the meaning of the story were excellent. Everything about this movie was supremely excellent, and it was so brutal and disturbing. I don't know if I could watch this again, at least not for a couple of years. I don't know if I don't think I could see this again anytime soon, because it was just that fucked up and that brutal that I don't know if I ever want to like experience that again anytime soon, but in a good way. Even though I have those two minor nitpicks, it's really, those don't matter, because I did mention this before, and I think I mentioned it like a couple weeks back, that if I would automatically give this movie a 10 out of 10 if it did the book ending, but it didn't. However, I would still give it a 10 out of 10 because it was that fucking good. So it just goes to show that even though I really wanted them to do that really fucked up ending, it still managed to achieve that 10 out of 10 rating just by everything else in it. So thank you to everyone involved. You made one of the best King adaptations of all time. And each 2025 entry of a Stephen King adaptation is in my top 10 this year. Not in my not just in my top 10 this year for movies, but top 10 King adaptations. All in the same year, King got him in the top 10. Mikey Mike, Oz, and Francis, you fucking did great. And King fans are happy as clams. So fuck yeah, let's go. I can't wait for your next projects. I can't wait for Sunrise on the Reaping. Ben Wong, I think, is also going to be in that. He was also really good. He was Hank. He was really good in this. I can't wait for The Keeper, which is Oz Perkins' next project. And I think the next project for Mike Flanagan is, ironically, the Carrie miniseries, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so.
I think so. He has so many projects, so I'm not sure. And there's like a rumor that he's off the Exorcist movie, so who knows if that's true or not.
I would say, I mean, his Clayface movie is going forward, but he's just a writer. He's not a director.
He just wrote it. He's not directing. So, so in terms of directing, I think the Carrie miniseries is next. So I can't wait for all those guys' next projects. I can't wait for The Running Man after Edgar Wright's last movie, which was not that great.
What did he do last?
Last Night in Soho.
I didn't see that.
It was not very good. It was like trying too hard to be a giallo, and it didn't work. And so, yeah, I can't wait. It's got a great cast. I like Lin Powell. I think he's good at playing a smarmy asshole. You could fucking kiss it twice.
This looks like it'll follow the book more than the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
And don't get me wrong, that is my 10th favorite King adaptation. Even though
I gotta watch
barely
that.
qualifies as an adaptation, I still love that movie.
I plan on watching that before the movie comes out.
Sub-Zero now. Plane Zero.
I don't think they'll adapt the ending from the book.
No, they won't. Definitely maybe before 2001, but I don't think they're gonna do that now.
Nope. Fuck no.
But we'll see. I can't, and I think Lee Pace he's the masked guy. He's also gonna, and Katie O'Brien is also in it.
Is it Coleman Domingo in it?
Coleman Domingo, yes. Josh Brolin. It's got a great cast. Michael Cera, Scott Pilgrim, and Edgar Wright reuniting once again. So yeah, I can't wait for that and a bunch of other movies that we have yet to see this year. But yeah, also I wanted to quickly mention Mark was not able to join us. He was the only other person that managed to see it. Actually, no, Zach saw it, but we don't know his rating. But Mark gave it an 8 out of 10. Fuck you for giving this less than a 10. Fuck you, Mark.
He said it's a hell. All he said in our group chat was just got out of the long walk. Hell of a movie. Big changes from the book.
Yeah. So I think I don't know what Zach gave it. He never gave us a rating, but overall, I think he did like it. He did like it.
So yeah. Overall, do we recommend the long walk?
Full price, not a matinee, not a budgeted Tuesday or Wednesday, but full price.
Or in the case of Double Toasted, a better than sex.
Well, I don't know. I can't say much about that, but
that's our highest rating.
Better than sex. Better
than sex.
Great stuff. So, what do we have next on the docket for the coolest of the kids, Devin?
Here's the schedule.
Well, I already saw it. Next thing we're going to be reviewing, if we can get to it, we are going to be reviewing. I think the next thing we're reviewing is Alien Earth. We're reviewing the series. So I think either the last episode is this week or next week. I think I might have continue on that, but
I haven't been to continue the show. I've just been lazy.
Yeah, Alien Earth, great show. but so far they could fuck up the ending. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's our next one. In terms of the movie that we have next is
One battle
One
after
Battle
another.
After Another, which is going to be by Mark, and then Alien Earth
All
is going to be
Thomas
hosted by
Anderson.
Rome. Yes. Alien Earth is going to be hosted by Rome if he's available. If he's not, we can figure out something else. But those are our next two reviews.
But yes, those are our thoughts on The Long Walk. To anybody who tuned in to watch The Madness, thank you all very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, support your local theaters by watching good movies, and always remember, tell your friends, tell your family, tell the people you care about that you love them, because they won't be here forever. But your love for them will be.
Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome.